Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Will and happy spooky season. It's officially the time where it's socially acceptable to basically everyone to decorate for Halloween and mention Halloween. Obviously, I've been ready for Halloween since July, but some people are very against that and think it's very wrong to celebrate Halloween a second before October hits. Some people absolutely love Halloween, but only in like September, October. And some people like me just love Halloween all year round and just love having the excuse to go even more full out with their Halloween decorations and their lifestyle. I made my first trip to the Halloween store back in August. I bought some little Halloween decorations and stuff. I've been ready. However, holidays and Halloween tend to really bring out a lot of assholes. People like to dictate other people's life choices, you know, complaining when other people choose to put up their Halloween decorations, complaining about what other people choose to wear. Brings out people who refuse to give a 5-year-old candy if they don't say 3 words to them. There's a lot of assholes. And so today I thought it would be fun to read some of Reddit's Am I the Asshole? But Halloween edition. So this first one says, am I the asshole for putting up Halloween decorations in July? So last night, along with our youngest daughter, 8, I decided to put up some Halloween decorations. My husband was going out with our middle daughter for the night, but before he left, I asked him to bring up the box of new Halloween decorations I'd purchased. He did, no problem. My daughter and I spent about 20 to 30 minutes just decorating the mantle. When he came home that night, I was in bed with our youngest. He walked in the door and yelled, "What the hell is going on here?" He was beyond upset over our decorating. He came upstairs and said I didn't ask him if I could put up the decorations and didn't include him. He also said he had no idea I was going to be doing this, even though he brought the decorations up for me. I don't understand what the big deal is. Yeah, I get it. It's July and most people don't decorate for Halloween this early, but who cares? Halloween is my favorite holiday. Seeing it up makes me happy and helps with my depression. On top of that, I'm going into surgery in August and won't be allowed to do much for at least 6 weeks after. So, am I the asshole? Hey guys, Editing Will here. So you guys are about to hear me completely say that I think this person is not the asshole at all, but after hearing it back through editing, I had to reconsider my thoughts and put myself in somebody else's shoes and be like, okay, Will, well, if it was Christmas decorations, how would you feel? Like if someone just decorated your shared space for Christmas in September, how would you feel about it? And quite honestly, I would be pretty pissed. And so it's not fair of me to just say not the asshole because I also love Halloween. I have to take into account the fact that it is a shared space and you have to be considerate of other people. And so I'm gonna change my ruling from not the asshole to everyone kind of sucks. I still agree with some of the things I said and I still think the husband's being a little bit dramatic, but I did have a little bit of a perspective change. I had to put myself, you know, in a different mindset and reconsider things. So even though I love Halloween, that doesn't justify, you know, making it okay. If it was Christmas, I'd be pissed. So we're gonna say everyone sucks here for the general ruling, but I'll let you hear what I had to say in the moment. And then there was some edits made, so I'm assuming that people reacted to this very negatively, so I'm going to pop in and read some comments really quickly of what other people said. One person said, not the asshole, all you did was decorate the mantle. What the hell did he think you were doing with the decorations? Yeah, honestly, I feel the same way. Typically when someone asks you to bring something out, that means they're going to use it, and I think that this guy could have used common sense to figure out what was going on here, but someone else said, not the asshole, I'm watching Hallmark Christmas movies in July, you're right, it's not a big deal. Another person said, everyone sucks here. This was a weird overreaction on your husband's part, but why on earth are you putting them up so early? It might be your favorite holiday, but you're making a long-term change to the shared home decor without consulting your partner, and that's really not cool, especially because holiday decor has a tendency to look cheap or weird and generally not very aesthetically pleasing. Seeing it every day for 3 months may make you happy, but it may make him upset. You didn't consider his feelings. Someone else says, I have to state the obvious here, decorating in July is bizarre. It's July. I'd be looking at my husband sideways too if he did that. I understand you'll have surgery in August, but you could have asked him and your daughters to do it for you. I don't think this is normal behavior at all. Using depression as an excuse is cringe. Surely there are more stable ways to manage your depression. Just because something makes you happy doesn't mean you get to force your spouse to go along with it, especially if it's something this strange. Another person said everyone sucks you. He reacted badly, but making a controversial decorating choice in your home should be discussed together. Now he's put in a bad spot because the kid is attached to it, so he's either the bad guy or has to look at shit he doesn't like for over 3 months. So honestly, like, the general consensus is either like everybody sucks or that she's the asshole. Only a few people seem to be thinking that she's not the asshole, so I feel kind of bad for saying that I don't think she's the asshole here. Maybe it's just because I don't personally want a man in my life, so I don't have to sit and consider a man's feelings. When I wanted to decorate the house in July, my family was like, fine, whatever, I don't care. I honestly don't think that it's this deep, and I didn't personally read it as like trying to use depression as an excuse. I think she was just stating that it makes her happy, and maybe the husband should have been consulted in it, because I will admit it is his space too. However, I still stand by what I think. You know, asking him to get the Halloween decorations out and like carry them is, you know, kind of like, what did you think was gonna happen with the decorations, buddy? Also, from what I'm gathering in this post, it was only the mantle that was decorated, and if he was really that offended and bothered by it, you could have taken it down. It's not like she went and painted all the walls in the house black, something that's irreversible. She literally put some decorations up, and if it was that big of an issue, they could have been removed. I think it's fine that she went ahead and decorated. It's not that permanent of a change, and I don't think you need to be that pressed about it. And he was the one who brought out the Halloween decorations in the first place, so he could have put 2 and 2 together. I'm gonna go with not the asshole. Sorry if that makes me an asshole, but that's just what I think. The next one says, am I the asshole for buying my son a Halloween costume? I, 34 female, and my husband, 35 male, have a 5-year-old son together. My husband was raised in a family where boys play with cars and girls play with dolls. Son has a huge obsession with unicorns and asked if he could go as a unicorn for Halloween. My husband told him no, and he would take him shopping for a boy costume. I found one in his size and wrapped up the Halloween costume to surprise him. I gave it to him after school and he immediately went to put it on. My husband looks at me and tells me I'm trying to change our son to be girly and should have bought him a Spider-Man or Superman costume. This incident happened over the weekend and husband is still fuming about it. Am I the asshole for buying my son a Halloween costume? Not the asshole. I have to take into account the fact that the husband was raised this way, so he believes that this is right. But that doesn't mean it is right. And also, it's literally Halloween. Halloween is the one time of year where I think you should be allowed to literally dress as whatever, as long as it's like age appropriate and whatnot, because it literally doesn't matter. It's Halloween. The whole point of Halloween is to be something else and to wear a costume, so why should it matter if your son's a unicorn or Spider-Man? Obviously the kid specifically wanted to be unicorn, and I don't think the kid would have as fun of a time if he was forced to dress as something that he didn't like or want to dress as. I think the husband is the asshole here. I didn't read any of the comments yet, but I'm guessing they're gonna be like, you should have consulted your husband over this. You should have just respected your husband's wishes. Or they're gonna be other people being like, well, yeah, unicorn is girly. The kid's gonna like regret it later on in life. Someone said, I think the real question you'd ask is rather if you're the asshole for not following some arbitrary rule for what someone should and shouldn't do. I see no problem with buying a boily costume if that's what your son wants, just as there's no problem buying a girly costume if that's what he wants. There are times where parents have to put their foot down and not let the child do whatever they want, but a costume is not it. If he likes girly things, he will still like it in the future, and who knows, maybe when he's older there'll be less girl and boy stuff. Not the asshole, but your husband is for being so angry about it. I have to agree with that one 100%. I don't think it's giving the kid whatever they want. You know, maybe that was one of the complaints that I'm not seeing in the comments, because I see that this was from at least 2 years ago. Like, it's a Halloween costume. It's a Halloween costume. He was going to be getting a Halloween costume regardless, so I don't think it's mean to get him the one that he actually wanted. Not the asshole. This one says, am I the asshole for making my daughter return a Halloween costume? My daughter, 16-year-old female, works an after-school job 5 days a week. Her high school had a costume contest for Halloween. My daughter and her friends planned a group costume to enter. She went with her friends after school to buy costumes. I picked her and her friends up from the store and they showed me their costumes. My daughter spent $80 on hers. I was pissed, as that's a lot of money to spend on something you're going to wear for a few hours. Very irresponsible use of money. I told her as much in the car, told her it was ridiculous. I dropped her friends off and took her back to the store to return the costume and accessories. Her friends found someone else to take her place in the group, and they won the and they won the contest and a $100 Visa gift card to split. My daughter came home from school on Halloween upset, and she claimed she had to sit and watch while her friends had fun and she missed out on everything. I pointed out to her that after splitting the gift card, it would be way less than she spent on the costume, and it was only a few hours, but she didn't want to listen to reason. Now a month later, and she's still moody and mostly ignoring me. My ex-husband told me that I made her miss out, and she worked so much and she missed out on a lot of stuff with her friends, and I could have just let her have this. But at the end of the day, I saved her $80. I was just trying to teach my daughter how to be responsible with money so she could have gotten a cheap costume, especially since she would have only worn it for a few hours. Oh, you're the asshole. You are 100% the asshole here. Now, I'm all for teaching your child to be responsible with their money, but I'm also one to say that it's okay to occasionally spend a little bit of money on something that you really want, even if it's only going to be used for a short period of time. I think, making memories like this in high school is one thing that would justify spending the money. Obviously, it was said that she works 5 days a week, so obviously, she's working. She earned the money herself. I think she has a right to occasionally buy something that she really wants, even if it's a bit pricey. High school is also a time where people get made fun of so easily if they don't fit in with other people, and I don't think she should have just bought it just to fit in with the group, but it obviously seemed like it was something she wanted to do, and then she just had to sit on the sidelines while someone else took her place and someone else won the contest that she could have won. I don't think it matters that the costume would have only been worn for a few hours, because it could have been a happy memory that she remembered for a long time and really cherished. But now all she remembers is how she didn't get to participate and have fun with her friends. I remember when I was in high school, one year I really just wanted to buy a costume, so I went to Spirit Halloween a few days before. I bought this Superwoman costume, and in the end it was really stupid and it was really basic and it wasn't special, and I haven't worn it since. But the day I wore it to school, I was still extremely excited because I'd bought a costume with my money. I had like an actual Halloween costume, and I loved it that day. I absolutely loved it. Even though I look back on it now and I'm like, why? Why? In the moment, I know that I was really thrilled and I didn't think it was a waste of money at the time. And doesn't everybody buy things that, are a little pricey at times? You're the asshole, 100%. Okay. Yeah, this one says, you're the asshole. Really messed up her relationship with her daughter because of $80. What mom thought she was teaching, how to make responsible decisions about money, how sacrifices need to be made for the future. What she actually taught the daughter. It's better to lie to her mom about how much things cost so as to avoid being humiliated in front of her friends. Don't include mom in decisions, especially ones that involve money. Don't share plans with mom in case she tries to control the outcome. And save up as much money as possible so she can move out as soon as possible. Pretty much it. Yeah. This one says, am I the asshole for losing my temper with my neighbor and her kids on Halloween? One of my neighbors who lives on my street is a literal nightmare. She's with our homeowners association and seems to have a personal grudge against me and a few other neighbors. Once my aunt came to visit and she parked right in front of my house. We live in a quiet suburban neighborhood, so her car wasn't blocking the road at all and it was never busy, but my neighbor took it upon herself to report it and I got faced with a hefty fine. She'll always do petty other things, like if my wife and my kids walk our dogs, sometimes our neighbor will follow them behind to make sure they clean up after it, don't walk on anyone's grass. It's ridiculous. Those are a couple examples onto the story. Now, no one really respects my neighbor, and I vowed if she comes to the door, I will straight up refuse to answer. Sure enough, she and her kids come to my door. I'm looking out from the window and the kids knock a few times and look like they're gonna give up until the mother comes up and knocks on my door. She sees our cars in the driveway, so she knows we're home. I relent to answer, and she now badgers me about how come you didn't come to answer? We've been here for 5 minutes. Her kids interrupt her and cheerily say, trick or treat. I wanted to give them candy because they're fairly well behaved, but because their mother is a nightmare, I say, sorry, I'm not giving you guys anything. My mother flips her shit and yells at me for not being in the spirit of Halloween and mentions how she will embarrass me by telling everyone about how much of a Scrooge I am. They leave and I sit there fuming. After a couple minutes, I grab a few candy bars, walk outside, and find them a few houses down. I storm up to them, throw the candy at their feet, and yell at the mother, here's the candy for your fucking kids. Enjoy it, you old hag. She looks terrified because I did approach them so suddenly. I'm not sure if I was the asshole here or not. My neighbor has been nothing but rude to me for years. And because I initially refused to give her kids candy, was I somehow the bad guy? Somehow? Were you somehow the bad guy for terrorizing them with the chocolate bars? You're the asshole, man. Now, I don't know all the petty drama that's been stored up between these two neighbors, but honestly, the examples don't make the neighbor sound like that much of an asshole. Like maybe it's a little rude to like follow somebody with a dog and be like, make sure you clean that up. But I also don't know that the person posting this, maybe they have a habit of not cleaning up. Maybe they've made issues that made the neighbor want to follow them. I feel like there's a lot more to this story than what the poster is letting on. And I think there's some background details that the poster is trying to hide because they don't want people to think that they're the asshole, but it's a little late for that. Maybe the neighbor's done some terrible stuff that I haven't heard of, but either way, involving the kids like this is insane. And the poster even said like the kids are well behaved, the kids haven't done anything, so like don't take it out on the kids. Just suck it up, answer the door, give them their candy, and move on. Maybe the parents should have, you know, moved when they realized the door wasn't going to be answering. You know, it was a bit unnecessary to sit there, why didn't you answer the door? Why didn't you answer the door? Because that's bound to cause conflict. However, suck it up, Buttercup. Like, give the kids fucking candy, let them be on their way, and then don't chase them down the street with the candy bars, you know. This one says, am I the asshole for going as grass to an early Halloween party? A few weeks ago, I, 31 male, was invited to my friend 33 male Will's early Halloween party. I had eagerly accepted the invite and was excited to celebrate because as a childless, single 31-year-old man with no children or younger siblings, Halloween managed to be one of those holidays that had slipped through the cracks. A few days after the invite, though, Will informed me that the party was a costume party. I hadn't been too surprised, though, because Will had a young son who is incredibly passionate about Halloween, yet doesn't feel that comfortable trick-or-treating. And because it wouldn't really be that difficult, I agreed to dress up. Now, here's where I think I may have went wrong. While I did love Halloween, I didn't really have any costumes, which meant that my options were either to make something or to buy something to wear. And because I'm a cheapskate, I decided to just make my own costume. Unfortunately, though, the only things I had that felt slightly costumey were a green shirt, green pants, a top hat, sunglasses, a white scarf, and one of those bead necklaces you get at parades. Being limited, I decided to reach into the deepest, darkest corners of my mind for a costume and eventually came up with a blade of grass costume. I was wearing the green pants, green shirt, shaded sunglasses, and the top hat, which I'd covered with green construction paper. And then, for good measure, I went out of my house and massaged a little soil into the clothes. Then yesterday the party rolled around and I came in my grass costume. I was a little embarrassed as the first 3 people I saw were wearing realistic demon costumes and stuff, and there I was as a dirt-wearing piece of grass. It was all okay though until Will's son came out and started to cry. And when I said that Will's son was young, I meant that he's too young for kindergarten. So when he saw me start to cry, I felt kind of at fault. Then when Will saw me and tried to comfort his son, he asked what I was, and so I told him. Then Will told me that I knew how much his son loved Halloween, which I did. And when his son started to scream at the top of his lungs that I ruined the party and had gone as the wrong thing, he asked me why I thought that would be appropriate, as I had witnessed his son freak out over the smallest of things before. So, was I the asshole for going as a blade of grass to a party? What the fuck? What kind of asshole is going to like dictate? It's based off of how your son reacts to costumes. It was a costume party and this guy dressed up, and honestly, I think that the costume is funny. I think the blade of grass is funny. And he obviously put some thought into it. You know, like he put stuff on the hat. I don't even have words to express how I feel about this. You're not the asshole. You dressed up. It's not your fault that the kid was whiny and wanted you to be something else. Like, you still dressed up. How is that your fault? Like, obviously this guy just wanted to be included and have a fun time. And it was ruined by like a bratty little 4-year-old. Sorry, not sorry for saying that. Like, why is the kid dictating the dress code for this dress-up party? Makes no sense to me. Not the asshole. But I do want to see what other people have to say. Not the asshole. You don't cater to kids being dumb like that. They need to learn to deal with being resilient even at a younger age. At the very least, you don't throw the blame on the person who did nothing wrong. Creative, low-budget Halloween costumes are great. His dad should have redirected him or told him how the blade of grass was fun. Yeah, exactly. Every time I think I'm starting to like kids, then I see something like this and I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I know this isn't like a representation of all kids, but it's more so the parent like letting the kid throw a tantrum about this, but Jesus. That's insane to me. Moving on. And this last one says, am I the asshole for scaring a worker at a Halloween haunted house? My girlfriend loves being scared. It's her thing. I'm not gonna be all macho and pretend nothing scares me. Heights give me the heebie-jeebies. So we went to a haunted house event, not that crazy one where they actually torture you and have to sign a 40-page waiver, but it was still pretty extreme. I think we have all seen the pictures of groups of people recoiling in fear. I, however, do not startle easy, and I have a difficult time suspending disbelief. So the guy chasing us through the haunted house with a chainsaw wasn't scary. To me, my girlfriend was scared from the disorientation and the noise, and the best, really amazing costume. But I played along. I let the actors chase us. I hid with her in a closet where the back falls away and there's a Japanese ghost girl in it. It was fun and my girlfriend was happy. When we got to the last room, this one where they take a picture of your group being scared, I didn't react to the thing that scares everyone else. I won't spoil it, but I can understand why it would scare people. So we got out and we went to see the picture, and there we are, a group of 6 people with 5 cowering in fear and me looking slightly interested at the way they pulled off the effect. I told my girlfriend I was scared. I was so scared I froze. So anyway, we go have a few drinks and some food at a pub down the way, and on the way back to the car I saw one of the guys from the haunted house vaping in the alley, so I walked up quietly behind him and whispered, "Come here, honey," in a deep gravelly voice. I'm 6'2" and about 275 pounds, and I look a little bit like someone you would not want to share a prison cell with. I was just joking, but he jumped and knocked over some bottles that were on the ledge by him. I apologized for my silly prank, but he looked pissed and all the other actors got that I was joking and laughed. I didn't touch him or anything, that would have been rude. My girlfriend said I was an asshole for scaring him on his break. I feel kind of bad about it, but you would think that a guy that does that for work would have a better sense of humor about being scared. Edit already, damn it. That's how you know that people were mad about this. I gave him $20 for more beer because I felt bad about knocking his over. First of all, I don't think the backstory is really that relevant. Like, okay, we get it, you don't get scared easily, you weren't scared at the haunted house. I do think you were the asshole for just scaring this guy. First of all, just because you work at something doesn't mean that you like the thing you're working for. I work customer service. It doesn't mean I like people, I just do it. And doing the scaring and getting scared are also 2 different things, because when you're working in that position, you have the control, you know what's going to happen, rather than someone just saying, "Come here, honey," on the street. Like, that guy could have genuinely, like, how was that guy supposed to know that it was a joke? There are a lot of sickos in the world. How is this guy not supposed to think like someone was about to kill him or assault him in some sort of way? Like, you're the asshole. He didn't pay money to go into a haunted alley, and just because he works in a haunted house doesn't mean he loves the job or the things about it. Sometimes a job is just a job. 100% think like you shouldn't fuck with the scare actors, whether that's in the haunted house or outside of the haunted house. You should never like grab at them or touch them or, you know, try and scare them. Like, you know, this person said, "Dude, I just busted my ass for free at my friend's haunted house all month. These people are there to put on a show for your entertainment. It's exhausting. I don't even know why you brought up not being scared the whole time." Edit, you're the asshole big time. Congratulations, do you want a trophy? And despite this person's line of work, he was at break from his job, just trying to relax, and the last thing he needed was to be scared by your macho ass trying to be cool. You're the asshole. So that is going to be all for this rendition of Am I the Asshole Halloween edition. See you guys in my next video.